Hey everyone, Aaron here with a fresh new gig log, and I'm gonna do this one a little bit different because I didn't really film a lot of footage from the event because I was nervous as fuck. I recently just saw too on a Facebook group, somebody asked a question like, hey, I'm gonna take this event, I'm not really sure what to do, any advice? And then somebody commented, if you're not prepared for the event, then don't do it. Or like, if you've never done an event like that, don't do it. And you know, I totally disagree. I think that if you're gonna take on an event like I did, a Mexican / English wedding, which I've never done before. The reason why I took it is because I knew that this was going to take some work. I was going to have to do some research, find some of the right music. It wasn't going to be easy, but I wanted the challenge. I wanted to do this kind of a wedding so I could, one, have it under my belt, two, learn about it, which I learned some things that I didn't know, and I had witnessed some parts of the culture that I was like, this is really, really cool. I got to see it firsthand. The bride was super helpful. When we did our Zoom consultations, she sort of walked me through all the events, what was going to happen, and she also sent me some music. I'm listening to it, but I don't really know it that well. I don't know what they're saying. For me, like, my biggest fear was I didn't want to play the Love Shack version of Mexican music where it comes on and people are like,
Le who? The her.
Nothing against Love Shack, but you know what I mean. Like that kind of like typical lame, all the young people are gonna bounce off the dance floor. A lot of the music that I had prepared, I would play it and have no idea how the reaction was going to go. And so I would play it and watch the dance floor, and most of the night people would be like, yeah, and go for it. I'm like, phew, okay, on to the next one. That's how it was all night long. I will say, at first, it took a little bit to get everybody going. I kind of opened the night with my typical English wedding music, you know, some September, some Michael Jackson, Uptown Funk, that kind of stuff. And I'm in the zone, right? This is my jam. I can do that great. And then I was watching. Are the Mexican guests, are they dancing with this stuff? Nope. They just sat on the sidelines and like, okay, so all night long, I'm gonna have to really cycle everybody in and know that when I play the Mexican music, are all the English people gonna walk away or will they stay on and dance? But anytime I go back to English music, boom, all the Mexican people are off the dance floor. What do I do? Well, I started off with some Pitbull, right? I'm like, I just can't go from Bruno Mars into like a straight Mexican song. So let me kind of like smooth the transition. So I did like Pitbull, or I would use Shakira or Despacito, kind of like a song that was a mix, and then that would launch me into some of my Latin crates. By the way, a big help for getting music was one, I reached out to some of my DJ friends that I know had done weddings like this. And that's where we really need each other. Don't try to do this on your own. And if someone's on a Facebook group asking for help, don't be all judgy on them. They're asking for help. We should help them. And that's what I needed. And to be honest, that's the reason why I didn't go on the Facebook group, because I know some of you assholes out there are gonna be like, well, if you haven't done any event, you shouldn't do it at all. Then I wouldn't have ever done my first fucking wedding. Anyways, I feel bad for people out there asking for help and just get slaughtered. Don't be that kind of DJ. We need each other, guys. Also, I bought Bar's Latin crates. He sold those on his site. I bought them, and boom, he has them all organized by like genre. It was amazing. Thank you, Bar. I really appreciated it. So I had all that music. I have her music. I've done research on the internet. I looked at some other, I think Rick Webb even just did like a quinceañera or something. I was like, what did he play? And I looked up and saw what he played. And so I'm putting like all my crates together, and I'm trying to organize them by like bangers all the way down. Dancing was going okay about an hour into this thing. And then I had about 2 hours to go. So a suggestion came up to me to play kind of Mexican country music. And I was like, great. Can you give me a song so I know like what to base it off of? And they gave me a song. And I was like, all right. So I played that song. People went crazy. Everybody jumped back on the dance floor and they were dancing to this music. And I was like, great. What do I do next? And I thought, okay, I'll find a song that kind of sounds like that one in my crates. So I went to my crates and I found a song that was very similar. It was kind of like the music that didn't have any lyrics to it. I played that song and that one worked. And I found another one and another one and another one. And I played about 6 in a row, and I thought, I can't like stay, like the dance floor wasn't clearing. Everybody was playing, but my DJ head was like, I gotta switch up the genre. This is like playing like 6 rock songs in a row. Like I just can't do that. It's gonna wear everybody out. So then I kind of transitioned into more of a poppy sound, transitioned back into English music. Then at the end of the night, I moved right back into that style again. And it worked. I gotta tell you, it was such a fun night. I really hope that I get to do this again. And I feel like I might because the review came in. And I'm gonna put the review up on the screen so you guys can see it and read it. I really want you to read it because it says the things that I'm talking about here, putting in the prep, putting in the work. You know, our final Zoom consultation was probably an hour. As I went through the music, I went through the events. They did have a day of coordinator, which was also super helpful. It all boils down to the preparation that goes into it, caring about the wedding, connecting with the couple, and kicking fucking ass the night of. I come home exhausted. I usually eat a big fucking pizza, which is like so bad. Do you guys go home and eat after a wedding? I don't know if like my first year, I would pound food, and then I noticed the pounds on my belly. So I don't do that as much anymore, but I do like to eat when I come home. I like to have a nice tall glass of bourbon. That's just like my little treat to myself. Like, yeah, it was a good night. I just had to share that story with you guys. It was just such an exciting thing that happened that I'm still buzzing from it. The email that came in last night, I showed my wife. I'm like, look, here's the wedding that I was so nervous about. She's like, oh my God. And we read it together and tears were streaming down our faces. That didn't happen, but it's still an amazing thing. When you get a 5-star review, it's an amazing thing. But when you get one from a wedding that you know you just put the work in and you really cared and you want to make sure that they had fun and you stretched yourself and it paid off, that fires me up. I'm fucking off this week, which bums me out. Like, I'm ready to go back and do a wedding, but I'm gonna enjoy the weekend with my family. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this and you like me, then you know what to do and just do that shit.